Flett from Golden Skate. I'm here in Helsinki. It's Tuesday of the World Championships, day 2, and I'm joined by coaches Silvia Fontana and John Zimmerman. Is it Silvia Fontana Zimmerman or Silvia Fontana?
No, it's Silvia Fontana.
Silvia Fontana. Okay. So, thank you so much for joining us and talking to us. Obviously, the coaches of the French Paris team, Vanessa James and Morgan Ciprès, coming off an unbelievable Europeans, where they really put themselves on the map and on the radar of medal contenders here at the World Championships. How have you felt they've been doing in practice, and what have your observations been so far here in Helsinki?
Well, since here in Helsinki, I've been very pleased because I feel like we've arrived here, and every day we get out on the ice and we do our warm-up and we get on the ice and we talk about things. It feels exactly like the same setup as we did for Europeans. So, all these little competitions lead up to learning each other, learning themselves, and, the seem to be the Grand Prix are big competitions, but they're all just stepping stones, and so we try to take a lot of information from all these competitions, and, they're mature people. They definitely want to learn. Some guys it's harder to take older kids because they're set in their ways. These guys are very unique and refreshing because they come with a lot of experience, but they also come with a lot of open-mindedness, and that just makes our job that much easier, really. So by the time we got to Europeans, I think just felt everything was going the way it needs to, and after evaluating it and taking notes and talking about it afterwards, we felt the system was really good. And so we were coming here hoping to just kind of duplicate that. There are always going to be adjustments and little things to make adjustments to, but all in all, every day and the preparations leading up and while here, it feels about the same. So we're very excited.
They appear in practice here to be skating with incredible speed, great consistency on the side-by-side jumps, for example, and lots of attempts of the throw quad. That is not something that is necessarily always, rock solid or on one foot. Is this something that you will be including in the free skate, and therefore it's paramount that you keep training it in practice?
The quad's a very difficult thing to balance because, you got to get the numbers and the repetition in, but you have to be, I think, more paramount is just be safe and healthy with it, because it's not one of those you can drill in like a jump or a spin. But this particular session, we had some extra time, and it's the rink where they're going to be really doing it. It's warm, the ice is good, conditions are really ideal, so we did want to kind of push it a little bit. They wanted to do a few more than I probably wanted, but it's okay. And at the end of the day, they have to feel comfortable about what they're doing. And, the adjustment is usually when they go to these competitions, it's warm, ice conditions are super ideal. So sometimes they come with a little more, too much energy and too much of everything. So that also makes the adjustment. And then it's always hard to pull back 80% sometimes. But the good news is, they seemed a little tense towards the end of the practice, even though we had a stellar practice. But after talking with them a few minutes ago, they were completely completely satisfied with where they were and what they needed to do. So they didn't harbor that feeling, which was great.
As sort of a team of coaches, how do you sort of delegate who does what? What does Silvia? What do you bring to the team? What do you bring to the team, John? How do you make sure that you're not crossing signals in any way?
Well, it's we're very organic in the way we work with. Both John and I obviously have been working together longer than with anyone else, but with Jeremy Barrett and John Kerr, we have great dynamics. We all have our strengths, and we'll truly respect each other. So we go in the coaches' room and we talk a lot about our skaters and what they need, and we usually come up with a plan there so that when we go out on the ice, we already know exactly who is going to do what with them, and then we evaluate, and it's really like having all eyes on them, and that's why it works, I think, because we really respect each other's opinion, and very rarely we have disagreement on anything. So
I think we also try not to micromanage each other, and we all, like Sylvia said, we have these meetings and we talk about it, and then we all just kind of let each coach kind of do what they feel a little bit. We have an idea about what we want to do, but it's not to the T, and no one's micromanaging each other because we all have to have the freedom. We're all skaters at heart anyway, so we need to have a little leeway to be able to flexibility to do what we need, because they change as skaters on a daily basis, so we have to be flexible with that.
You talk about sort of the system or the approach to competition, and you talked about, I think you mentioned conversations, that the conversations sort of are a bit the same, or they're routine. What kind of, can you give us a bit of a glimpse into what those conversations look like? Are they pep talks that you might be having with Vanessa and Morgan? Is it trying to keep their nerves down? Is it trying to fire them up?
Sometimes it is. It is definitely conversation. I think you open it up to letting them
Talk to each other. And then talk to us, I think.
We let them, definitely, they're the ones who are doing it, so they have to be able to be good with each other, and they have to be able to communicate with each other. Sometimes we can help them communicate with each other, because sometimes they get kind of hot with heated about things, and, it's your job sort of to kind of be the conduit there to help the language sometimes, but that's with a lot of teams, and but speaking to each other, respecting each other, and respecting the area where their concerns are coming from, and not shutting anything down because everything's valid and has a reason for it. So it's important to be able to have them be heard. And like I said, I think that's back from Skate America on. I mean, we really had to change our approach a little bit. So those kind of things need to be addressed a lot more and respected.
I think sometimes letting them also see, put things in perspective, so they're not just geared to what's here now. Today, like, they have done days with the quads where they were working on it exactly like today, and then it was completely perfect and fine during the run-through, and reminding them of those moments of how it's all a journey, and they've done that kind of path before, and they own it, they have it. Sometimes I think they're still new to really being as good as they are.
So obviously, we're in Europe, we're in Finland. And so you might think that some European skaters would get a bit of a boost or some additional fans in practice. It seems to me that James and Ciprès are getting some of the strongest fan support in the stands. Is that just me, or do you feel it? Do they feel it?
We told them that they have we have a little bit of an inner joke, because Morgan he was funny yesterday. He's like, I'm going to do this lift for the public. And we just were laughing. Just for the public. So today we told him that he has the gold medal from the public.
Right. Well, it really seems that way. Yeah. I mean, the audience response to that has been really strong in comparison to the other teams. Yeah. Probably that's coming off a real breakthrough European Championships for this team, who have sort of been stuck in that 4th, 5th position at Europeans and just off the podium for years, similar to sort of being stuck at the World Championships in around 10th position. Right. So they finally stepped up on the podium at what looked to me in the free skate, certainly, to be an absolute pressure cooker environment. John, you were there with the team at Europeans. Yes. Can you describe what was happening backstage as, Tarasova and Morozov cranked out, a great program and incredible scores. Savchenko Massot did the same. Stolbova and Klimov were just behind them as well after the short program. Right. Those are tough teams. Like, they were in really thick. What was their demeanor like? How did it feel backstage? Yeah, it was intense, I tell you. One of the more intense moments I've had even as an athlete. But, I didn't pay too much attention to what was going on out there. I didn't want them to think that I was worried about what was going on too much with them, the other competitors. My job is to be back there with these guys and do what I need, just hold the water and Kleenex if I need to. But because they do kind of go into their own world. And were you able to tune that out, or sometimes? But the problem was with these guys is Morgan was in the men's dressing room, and Vanessa wandered off to another part of the arena, like a little bit far away. So I'm having to kind of go back and forth, and I was kind of like. I was just going back and forth, literally, like a tennis ball, like making sure, you okay, good. And then I didn't want to look like too frantic with doing that, So my job is to just make sure that they're cool, because at that point there's not a whole lot you can do, and you're also balancing out as a coach, because you want to be there, but then at the same time you got to let them do their thing. So I think you can tell when they need us. Right. It's sort of like a silent help, and then you're there.
and they're not helpful until they need you, and then that's when you step in.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you just feel it. You feel it as you do it, and nothing catastrophic was going on. And I felt like they were trusting what they needed to do. And I was there if they needed me, but they were really on their own and doing really well. So, at the end of the day, I just let them do their thing. And when they got out there on the ice, I felt that they were in control of what they were doing. So,
what did you tell them? What would you recall the last thing you said before they went out there and skated that?
You got this. You got this. I mean, nothing more than what we would normally say right before they go to skate any kind of program.
You didn't say do it for the public?
Yeah, maybe tomorrow we'll do that.
Do it for me. No, do it for the public. No, I mean, everyone just has that look. They had great sober eyes, and they knew what they were needing to do, and it was just like, you got this. It's good. And it just happened to be great. I mean, I think they felt the training was there. I think they feel like they had something special of a program, and that gives them confidence. So everything just turned out really well, and I was, it was a beautiful moment. It was like one of the best moments of my career skating and anything. So it was phenomenal.
How has training gone since then, and how are you sort of trying to channel that success into success here this week in Helsinki?
I think what was interesting was after that intense moment, and you only have one more competition to go, and it's been a long season, we let them take a couple weeks off. Okay. Totally decompress and feel far away from it. Okay. So when they do come back, we can kind of crank it out hard again. If we pushed it right away, I think it would have just been a long season, and you start making a couple mistakes, you start searching for all these things that really aren't there. So I think the best thing to do is to kind of hit the reset button, like everyone likes to say. We hit the reset button and kind of started again, and everyone felt good about where they needed to go, and that was, that makes it easy that way. Okay.
They came back very energized and focused, and when they first came to us, it was a lot of great technical work that they did, and everyone feels good. I mean, especially for the boy working on a twist or working on a big element. But what John said, what they're amazing at is they're ready to work on the crossovers and edges and little things that made a big difference for them this year. And they came back more trusting and even more eager to work on the kind of boring things or less exciting things, because they know it made a difference. They felt it, and they were very confident in themselves, but still ready to work. And that's where they're very special.
What are your goals or hopes for them this week in Helsinki?
Just to maintain what they're doing.
Yeah, to skate as well as they can, I think.
Yeah. What they've been doing this past couple of weeks have been, nothing short of what we did at Europeans.
They were, great practices leading up to this competition. They're really looking great.
Are they feeling like medal buzz, like we're hearing on social media and discussion boards and so forth?
We hope they don't read anything.
Okay.
They just do it for the public, and not for the medal.
I think we haven't really talked about it
We try never to, even at Europeans, I mean, I think the medal was definitely something that they have been wanting. And of course, I think in everyone's mind there is a little bit of hope, but I think that we as coaches and them as skaters stress not the results as much as their performance.
Great. Any last words you want to add before we sign off?
I feel very fortunate to be working with a team. I mean, it's an honor to be working with these guys because they're such good people, and the whole French Federation has been pretty amazing with us. So we've enjoyed our time with them and with these guys. So it's just wonderful to be here at this competition in the position where we're at. Whether to win a medal or not is irrelevant because, it would be great, but I think where they are and what they're doing is really exciting. So I think they feel great about it, and if we can just get out honest, good performance, I think they'll be very happy with themselves. That's the most important thing.
Well, and it appears that you've brought them a real winning touch to their skating, which is fantastic to see. As I said, it's been tough to watch this team with so much potential, such great on-ice chemistry. having these, apparent struggles to reach the goals that they appear to have set. And it's fantastic to see the breakthrough at European Championships. And we'll all watch, fingers crossed, here in Helsinki. It's a busy week. We've actually got the press room behind us, lots of action happening here.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for taking the time from your busyness with the team and practices to chat with us today. And good luck this week.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.